What is up, everybody? It's your boy Herf here, back on the Duel Entertainment channel, and today we got another top 5 tech video. But this month is January, obviously, so this is January's picks. I'm really excited to talk about these ones because we got a really interesting meta where we have essentially 2 to 3 decks that are way above all of the other ones, and so all of these are going to be targeted at those 2 to 3 decks, and then of course have to be relevant versus all the other ones. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is the purpose of this video? Essentially, the purpose of this video is to provide 5 cards that casual or competitive players to put into their decks that are not staples to make them more competitive. So staples are something like Canadia, Floodgate, Cosmic, and all that. Econ, they will never be on this list because they're not tech cards, they're staples. Does that make sense? So basically, these cards aren't staples yet, but they are really strong in the meta. So I did not put Book of Moon on this list. So a lot of people are probably going to talk about like Book of Moon, Book of Moon. I would say that I'm not going to put it on this list because it's not accessible in any way, shape, or form, right? So I want this list to be accessible and I want it to be relevant to the overall player base. So if I put something like Book of Moon on here, it's not going to be relevant at all because only ultra competitive players will have it, and those players already know what tech cards they want to use. So full disclaimer, Book of Moon would be on here, but it got out of here. Now, first card, Artifact Lancia. This card is really good versus Ritual Beasts and Invoke Neos. It's probably one of the strongest hand traps in the game overall, and it has some added benefit versus Noble Knights. So Noble Knights do a lot, plus a lot of being able to banish stuff from the grave. This isn't the best side deck card versus them, but it's worth consideration based on the fact that it actually stops Blue Eyes from adding cards back to their hand, as well as banishing with Spirit of White, stuff like that. So honestly, it's a pretty good card right now. Maybe you could see a little more representation, especially if Invoke Neo starts to make a little bit of a comeback, like it looks like that they might, as well as Thunder Dragons. If Thunder Dragons come back, Lancia is going to be amazing. So there are a lot of decks in the meta right now where if you have a Lancia, I mean, you are in a very good position. So like, honestly, I genuinely think that, especially Invoke Neos, because they have a bad Thunder Dragon matchup, should be siding at least 2 to 3, maybe even maining 2 to 3 Artifact Lancia. So now, going on to the next card here, we got DD Crow. So this card says, during either player's turn, you can discard this card to the graveyard, and then target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish that target. So this card is really good to stop Noble Knights from being able to recycle their equip spells, because they activate when they're destroyed, and then you just DD Crow, get that out of the graveyard, as well as versus Blue Eyes, because you get to banish the stones out of the graveyards. They don't summon any more Blue Eyes. It has a lot of good meta value right now, in my personal opinion. That's probably one of the better hand traps in the game. So DD Crow and Lancia are both notorious TCG hand traps, and so for them to be in Duel Links is kind of insane just on that. And it kind of shows you that just being able to banish one card out of the grave can really do a lot against other like graveyard strategies. Because Noble Knights focus on getting so many resources into their grave, if you hit them at the right time and you hit the right thing with a DD Crow, you're able to stun a lot of their follow-up plays. So I think it's really important that a lot of people consider playing DD Crow. I know the MCS winner playing Thunder Dragons was playing 2 Crows in the main, which was a really good meta call, because there are a lot of Noble Knights and Blue Eyes, so you need to side for them. So well done to him. Awesome. Going on to the next one. Ally of Justice Quarantine. Now, this card is a card that people have really been sleeping on lately, and it's starting to get an uptick in popularity, especially in Desperado, as it is a Dark Machine type. But basically what it says is that neither player can special summon light monsters. That's it. While this card is on the field, no one can special summon light monsters. That means Brave Neos, That means any Blue Eyes. That means any Noble Knight. Just stun. I mean, it's really good. The biggest downsides of it is that it uses a normal summon. So Desperado, this card fits well because they don't really care about their normal summon. As well as this could go actually really well in Invoke Neos. But besides that, I mean, this card doesn't have a lot of decks to be put in, but the decks that it is put in, it makes it a lot better. And I think it's absolutely correct to main this in Desperado at the moment because of the prevalence of Noble Knights and Blue Eyes, as well as Noble Knights are such a bad matchup for you. So overall, this card is really powerful. I definitely think that, especially if you play Desperado, you should be playing this because it gives you such a boost in your bad matchups, and it makes your good matchup, which is Blue Eyes, absolutely like freer than any other matchup. Like it's amazing how good this card is versus Blue Eyes and Noble Knights. But anyways, going on to the next card, Necro Valley. This card is probably going to be in and out of here pretty much every month. The decks that can play this card, it's insane. The decks that can't get destroyed by it. So the best deck to play Necro Valley in right now is Goki's. The only reason Goki is anywhere near a meta deck is because they can play Necro Valley. And every other deck in the meta right now gets pooped on by Necro Valley. So even if you're building a rogue deck and you're like, do I care about my grave? If the answer is no, play Necro Valley. Like this card is insane. Basically, the reason why it's so good is that it says cards in the grave can't move. So stuff like Thunder Dragons and Noble Knights, all that kind of stuff, when you put down a Necro Valley, if they have any graveyard reliant strategies, they get absolutely pooped on. So Gokis can play this, and it's a very, very common side card in Ritual Beast. It's actually a main deck in some of the bigger balanced Ritual Beast decks, so there's that. And then as well as Blue Eyes often side decks this as well. Because Blue Eyes, they do move stuff in their grave a little bit, but overall they don't need to, so it's fine. Overall, this card is a very strong card. If you can play it, it's correct to play it. So now the final card, Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. Okay, if you do not use all 7 spots of your extra deck, and you play Econ, this is absolutely mandatory to play at 1. Because the thing is, you can Econ take an opponent's rank 5 or higher, and then just overlay this. Why would you not do that? If you have Econ in your deck, you must play this. There's absolutely zero excuse not to. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this card besides it is good and you should play it because right. So if you have a rank 5 or 6 monster you control as an Xyz monster, you can just put this on top. Just put it on top. It's literally that easy. As well as this card inflicts piercing, so bonus as well. But yeah, overall, guys, if you're playing Econ, please play this. It's broken. Why not? But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the Twitch. That's where we host tournaments. Get in the Discord. That's where you sign up for the tournaments. Free entry, $10 cash prize practically every single day. And then once a month, we have our damage step, which is $5 entry fee. And like last time, it was a $300 cash prize. So it's pretty good return on investment if you ask me. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and peace on out of here. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.